out of the election interference case against Donald Trump in Georgia, and new videos that reveal what his former attorneys told prosecutors about the 2020 election after agreeing to cooperate last month. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky has the story. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, George. Prosecutors in Georgia have heard accounts of former President Trump's efforts to cling to power in 2020 directly from those who were there trying to help him do it. And ABC News can now show you some of the tapes. This morning, what two attorneys who used to advise former President Trump were willing to say to prosecutors as part of their plea deals.
He always wanted to know where things were in terms of finding fraud that would change the results of the election.
So he would contact you?
Sure.
Sidney Powell and Jenna Ellis pleaded guilty to reduced charges and agreed to cooperate. ABC News has obtained portions of video recordings of their confidential interviews with prosecutors.
His trusted advisors were telling him, "Sir, you lost."
Right.
So I guess my question is, why in his mind was your credibility higher than theirs?
Because I didn't think he had lost.
Aides were telling him he lost, but Powell said Trump was so determined to stay in office, he weighed a plan to seize voting machines in multiple states.
That would have allowed the machines to be secured in 4 or 5 states or cities and see about doing a bipartisan or military or whatever everybody agreed on review of the machines.
Jenna Ellis told prosecutors she was at the 2020 White House Christmas party when Trump aide Dan Scavino told her Trump simply planned to refuse to leave office.
He said to me in a kind of excited tone, "Well, we don't care and we're not going to leave."
Ellis said she asked him, "What do you mean?"
He said the boss is not going to leave under any circumstances. We are just going to stay in power. And I said to him, "Well, it doesn't quite work that way, you realize." And he said, "We don't care."
Scavino did not respond to requests for comment. An attorney for Trump called the purported conversation meaningless since Trump ultimately did leave the White House. Trump has denied any wrongdoing.
It's not a direct quote from Donald Trump where Donald Trump is saying that he's going to remain in power no matter what, but it lends credibility to other testimony that we've heard from other witnesses that he was going to stay in power no matter what.
Ellis and Powell are 2 of 4 defendants who have pleaded guilty in the case. We're told others have previously been offered plea deals. George, any cooperator could be called to testify once this sprawling racketeering case goes to trial. George.
And Aaron, this is just one case. Of course, the civil fraud trial is still going on in New York City, and Donald Trump Jr. is back on the stand.
He was here as the first witness for the defense, and he painted a much different picture of the Trump family real estate portfolio than the judge, who has said all that Trump properties were overvalued. Nearly 36 times, Trump Jr. used the word spectacular to describe Trump properties, the result of his father's genius and vision. For example, he said Trump turned the old post office in Washington, D.C. into one of the finest hotels in the world. He called Trump World Tower next to the United Nations just a sexy place, and Mar-a-Lago one of the few American castles. All testimony meant to bolster the defense claim that valuing real estate is more art than science. George.
Aaron Katersky, thanks. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.